Is it finally time to buy this stock? We got to break that down in this video. And by this stock, you guys probably know what stock I'm talking about. If you've been watching the markets today, you know there's one stock in particular that's getting destroyed. So without further ado, let's dive into the video. We're going to break down some charts, numbers, and we're going to go over my opinion on this company. So sit back, relax, and let's talk. So right off the bat, the company is Nvidia. We're not going to hold that I'm not going to hold it over your head for the entire video, then do a release of what the company is 8 minutes in. We're going to get right to it right now. It is Nvidia, guys, ticker symbol NVDA. And Nvidia, if you didn't know, it is down 9% today. It's actually at a fresh low on the 4-hour chart. It took out that $140 low from a couple of weeks ago, and it got all the way down to $132 earlier today. I think at one point, Nvidia was down 12, maybe pushing 13%, so very ugly day for Nvidia and a lot of other chip stocks as well. I think AMD is moving down. Yeah, AMD's down 4%. Let's see, is Micron moving down a little bit? No, Micron's not down. I think it's mostly AMD and Nvidia. And you guys can see, really, Nvidia's getting, the majority of the blow here. So Nvidia on Wednesday, yesterday, I think after the bell, or at some point yesterday, they said that they've been told by the U.S. government to stop selling chips in China and in Russia, even though there's I think they actually don't even have any business currently in Russia. But they were told by the U.S. government, Russia and China, no more selling chips. And in a filing with the SEC, Nvidia said that the U.S. government told the company on August 26th about a new license requirement for future exports to China, including Hong Kong. And the restriction would affect the A100 and the H100 products that Nvidia has to offer. Go look those up, guys. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm an Nvidia chip expert. Just go look those up. A100, H100. And guess what? This is going to be a blow to the company. Not anything that is unimaginable or something that they can't recover from, but the company expects that it could lose $400 million in potential sales in China in the current quarter after previously forecasting revenue of $5.9 billion. And again, they're not actually doing business in Russia right now, but they're still banned, or the government's saying not to sell anything there at this point. So they're going to lose about $400 million of business. The forecast was $5.9 billion, so that's not a crazy amount, but who knows how long this is going to last. I mean, are they going to be losing millions of millions, hundreds of millions every single quarter here? Are they going to get these licenses? What is going on? And I believe they actually applied for a license to continue some Chinese exports, but they don't know whether or not the U.S. government is actually going to grant them an exemption. And recently, in recent years, the United States government has applied increasing export restrictions to chips made with U.S. technology because of fears that the Chinese military, Chinese companies, they're going to potentially use them for military purposes or to steal trade secrets, things like that. So, the U.S. is like, maybe if we give China these A100, H100 chips, they're going to put them, into their military, do this, that, the third, and use that to attack us. Makes sense to me. I mean, I can see where they're coming from from that angle, and Nvidia's, caught in the crossfire. They're suffering. Again, they're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars in this upcoming quarter, and the stock is getting hit for that exact reason. Again, they were down about 12, 13% at their worst, and now guess what, guys? Nvidia is down roughly 60% from all-time highs. I mean, this is nuts. Nvidia was at 346 just a couple of months ago. When was that? Pretty much about a year ago. More like 10 months ago, Nvidia was at 350 roughly. Now it's at 140, under 140. So it's down 60%, and it's at a 15-month low. I think the last time we were at 130s, 140s, it was back in May of 21. I mean, we're talking 15, 16 months ago. So what do you guys think about Nvidia? Do you personally own it? If you do own it, what do you think? Me personally, I do not own it right now. But if this red continues, like I've said time and time again on the channel, guys, I'm going to be very close or I'm going to be very tempted, rather, to buy some Nvidia, to nibble into it at least, especially if it starts coming down to 100, 110, $120 a share. So let's take a look at some numbers here. Let's see if this drop has made Nvidia any more attractive on a long-term basis. Let's take a look at some numbers. So without further ado, let's dive into this tab right here. And if you all are still here watching the video, hit that like button. I really appreciate you all, as always, and subscribe. That does help me out overall in the algorithm. And if you want some free stocks, 13 free stocks for Moomoo with a $100 deposit. Each of those could be up to $2,000. Get your free money link down below. And you could also get 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All that free money, free stocks, link down below and pinned in the comment section. So Nvidia right now with this drop, Yahoo Finance still has them as overvalued. Look at the bottom left here. And I'm not just going to look at that and be like, oh, okay, overvalued. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not just going to look at that. But it's interesting. They have it set at overvalued based on, I guess, the way they value it. And I don't even know how they do that. But, you know, that's something to look at. And the market cap right now is $340 billion, which is still pretty chunky, guys. You got to realize that at some point, they were $700 billion. I mean, this company was close to $1 trillion freaking dollars. And look at that P/E ratio, trailing 12 months. It has come down a lot. It's at 36. I think at one point it was like 80. I mean, it has come down a lot to a point where it's got me thinking. You know, 36 is still a little bit hot. It's still a little bit high for me. But if it gets to 30, under 30, with the growth Nvidia has, we'll take a look at that in a second, it's going to have me thinking. And right now, they do pay a little bit of a dividend. I mean, nothing to write home about, pretty much nothing. They might as well not pay a dividend. But they're paying 16 cents a year per share that you own, and a share, mind you, is $138 right now. So that's a 0.1% dividend yield, so nothing crazy. Again, nothing to write home about. And if I pull up the financials here, let's just quickly look at this. Nothing crazy, guys. We're not going to do any drawn out models or any bar charts or anything extensive here, or any type of chart in general. But we're going to look at this, and we're going to see how much revenue they've made, or on the top line, the revenue over the past couple of years. Then we'll look at net income, all that good stuff. We'll take a look at the balance sheet. So total revenue in 2019, $11.7 billion. Awesome. In 2020, a little bit under $11 billion. 2021, they did about $16 billion. And now, sorry about that, trailing 12 months, about $30 billion. So from 2019, just 3 years ago, they did $11.7 billion. Now they're pushing $30 billion 3 years later. So this company is growing like a weed. It is unbelievable how much they're growing. So that's what I'm saying. If we're looking strictly at the PE, I mean, what are you willing to pay? What multiple are you willing to pay for a company that's tripled up their revenue pretty much, or pretty dang close to that in the past couple of years? I feel like a 25 to a 30 PE on Nvidia is respectable. Trailing 12-month PE, I think that is worth looking at for sure. And when it comes to their profitability, I always forget what line it is here, or I lose the line rather. Where the heck is it? Right here, right? Yeah, net income. Net income has grown as well. 2019, they did about $4.1 billion net income. 2020, it shrunk a little bit. But overall, trajectory over the past 3 years has been up from $4 billion in 2019. Now trailing 12-month net income is pushing $8 billion. So that's almost doubled up. And in 2022, they did close to $10 billion of net income. And I always like looking at the balance sheet. I like looking at the current ratio, guys. Current assets over current liabilities. And last I checked, I mean, their current ratio was very solid. I mean, yeah, look at that. Current assets right now are sitting under $30 billion, guys, with current liabilities at $4 billion. So they could easily, if they wanted to pay off their short-term debts due within the next 12 months with current assets, right? Assets they can liquidate pretty much very quickly, or cash, you know, whatever it is. They could do it in a heartbeat if they really wanted to. So they passed the test. I mean, look at their cash equivalents. And short-term investments. We're talking $21 billion. So Nvidia looks pretty good from a balance sheet perspective. They're obviously growing. They're profitable. And with companies like this, it's all about your assumptions, guys. It all comes down to what you believe the future looks like with growth companies, with companies in general. But you got to really pinpoint how much you think Nvidia is going to grow, right? How much of their revenue is going to grow, profits. And then you're going to have to reverse engineer that and figure out a price that you're willing to pay for today in the present time. You know, it's a little bit of it's not like anything crazy to do, but it's how you do it. And we're not going to do that in this video, but that's one way to value stocks, you know, or to find, or that's one of the main ways that you find kind of what you want to pay based on future assumptions, reverse engineering that. And you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And my freaking watch is dinging right now. You guys can't hear that. But overall, that is going to be it for this video. Oh, Jesus, I need some water, guys. If you all found value, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And check out my Patreon. All that is linked down below. You could also get your 13 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit and your 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. And with that being said, that's it. Nvidia, you know, I'm just watching it. I'm not jumping the gun yet, but if it comes down a little bit more, 25p, 30p even, I'm going to be looking to buy some. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching as always. Peace out.